Uh, Good evening. This is Scotland's Angular Meetup, and today we are going to have a presentation about Angular library Scully from Esteban, who is actually a contributor of the Scully, and later we should have a Q&A with Jorge, who is one of the main creators of the Scully library. So passing to you, Esteban.
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Esteban from Argentina, and yeah, maybe you're wondering why I'm giving a talk in Scotland's Angular Meetup, and it's because I lived in Scotland for 1 year, volunteering there, and yeah, my fiancée lives there, and hopefully I will be moving there at the end of this year, God willing. And yeah, I'm a front-end engineer, and I studied chemical engineering at uni. But yeah, I switched to IT, and that was the right decision. So I'm very happy. And yeah, I'm not a direct contributor of Scully, but I do share content and support the library. And hopefully, I will write some code in the future if I level up with my skills. And well, today is going to be an easy talk, and the idea is to show you the main concepts, so you can you can understand the idea behind this. And I don't want to give you too many details, so you can focus on what's important. And hopefully we have Jorge Cano, which is one of the three creators of this library. So hopefully he will be joining us, and he's in a meeting now, so he's sorry, but yeah, let's wait, maybe he will join us. Okay, I'm gonna share my screen with you. So yeah, can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, we are at scully.io. This is the main website, so you can see its features and how to use it. And I wrote an article, so that's why I'm giving this talk, because Nikos and František found it interesting. This is the article. It's on academine.com, and it's in the meetup description. So you can, yeah, I think I can just maybe, I don't know how to, well, no worries. I was gonna share it like a message, but yeah, you can see the URL. So the idea is, like, when building apps, sometimes you need to share it with the world. So people need to find it easily when using Google search. And yeah, I've got a real story. That was my first project when I started freelancing. And yeah, so I was working for a while with another developer. What happened is that yeah, it was quite frustrating to finish the project and not being able to see it on Google search. So I decided to try Angular Universal, which is server-side rendering provided by the official Angular team. And it was quite complex because I was new. So yeah, I couldn't make it work. There were some errors. So that was one alternative. And the other one was to use Scully, which was in beta at that time. So yeah, I worked hard for a couple of weeks trying to understand the library and how to apply it. And finally, I made it work. And now our webpage is, you can discover it easily. It's on top of the search. So that was a case of success.
Can you tell us what is the webpage?
Yeah, sure. So I'm going to do the Google search so you can see that I'm not lying.
Yeah, that's a good practical example.
Yeah, can you see my screen now? Yeah?
Actually,
not yet.
no.
No.
Okay, no. Now you're gonna see it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's Google
It is there.
search. So it's an evangelical church, a local one. So if you search, the Coronel Suarez is the town ID. So if we press enter, we should see results. Well, we see like advertising, so they pay for this. That's why they're on top. And you see the Google Maps results. And this is the church I was talking about. But the important thing comes here. Well, this is the Facebook page of the church. And there we have the page we built, the project I was talking about. This is an Angular app. So
okay, so it is actually number 2 in Google search.
Look, yeah, and it was in the 5th page. So that was a huge improvement. So we're still building this page. But it's an Angular application. If you're quite new, and yeah, if you've never seen an Angular app, it's a single page application. So if you navigate between tabs, you won't see a reload here. That's the magic of single page applications. That's why they feel like an app to the user. So, okay, we have some content here, but if we go to About Us, yeah, look at the reload arrow here. If you go to Messages, look at the arrow. It didn't reload. That's the magic of single page applications. It feels like an app. And now you can see messages here. So I had the help of another developer. So he made like a filter. You can filter by breacher. And yeah, it's quite a fast app. So yeah. Well, this is the real life case. So it worked very well. So this application got to the top of the SEO search. So maybe if you have some apps for clients, or you're thinking about building your portfolio website, this is a good tool to use. So, okay, I think we are ready to start talking about like what is a normal Angular app. And an application, this one has already Scully installed, but I'm gonna give you like all the steps you need to do to add it. So here, let's start with routing, because you have a source folder. So the app is inside here, and we have a bunch of files. Inside app, we're going to have the components, and at the root level of this source folder, we should have app routing here. Yeah, it's in the app folder. This routing folder tells us how the app is going to react if we change the URL, which components are going to be loaded. So for the slash, the root level, it's going to load the home component. And the home component, if you look here inside this folder, we can see the content of this one. So if we are slash, we can see a home component, and then I made an order list with some cool stuff like learn how Google ranks your site and more things. So this is for the home component. Then for the slash about, the application is going to load the about component. I'm showing you the content so you get familiar with what's inside them. The about one has like I'm the about component, and it has some text here. So yeah, I do marketing like subliminal messages. Make sure your site ranks high on Google, so you get more visits and your business grows. So yeah, and if we go back for contact, the contact route /contact, We're gonna load the content component, which has some small text like a Discord channel for Academic, because I wrote the article for them. So this is the demo app you can find in the article as well. So, well, that's the application. And I've already pressed here in the terminal. You can always hit terminal, new terminal, and you're gonna see this terminal here. And I've already pressed ng serve. That's the command to serve the application in development mode. So when in development mode, the app is generally served in localhost 4200. If we hit enter, you're gonna see the app, and I forgot to show you this part, which is the navbar. So I'm gonna go back here, and we should go to app component. That's another one. Besides these components I created, this one comes by default when you create a project. And then I added a navbar at the top of every component I load. This router outlet, inside these tags, every route is going to be loaded. So home component is going to be loaded here, the about component, and the contact one, depending on each route. And here is just for the purpose of navigation. If we click home, we're going to go to slash. If we click about, we're going to go to the about URL. So this is the app. If we go here and play around, if we hit home, we are slash nothing. Then if I clicked about, we went to about, and we see the content. The same for contact. We had contact, and the contact component was loaded here. Okay, but yeah, let's understand how Google bots. The bots is like a tool Google uses to crawl our pages and see what's the content about. And if we view the view page source at slash, we're gonna see that that's the content the bots see when looking at our page. And yeah, it doesn't see much. It sees just an app root tag and nothing inside. So yeah, the Google bot needs to run these scripts in order to see content inside, and this is not optimal, because that's why our page is gonna get penalized. So we're not gonna appear on top of the Google search. So this is the problem we need to solve. We need to get some content here inside these brackets, these app root tags. And by the way, let me show you. Oh, sorry, I hit stop. It's kind of annoying because I can't see. Yeah, when I click one tab here, yeah, I got it. So if we go to about, and if we inspect, we should see the same result, the app root empty. So no content for any route. That's what I want you to remember. Okay, so if we go back to our app, I'm gonna key the development server. And by the way, just a quick tip, if you wanna serve the app in another port, ng-serve port, and you type the number, like maybe 4500, enter. That's, yeah, you can do this in case you're like, yeah, you have that port busy with another application running. So that's a good tip. Okay, so yeah, let's jump to package.json. That's another interesting file. Yeah, I'm gonna check before doing this if we have new people coming. Yeah, do we have a new one? I haven't been looking. Jorge is not here yet. No. No. Okay. Well, yeah, let's get back here. Perfect. So we are in package.json. Here we have some scripts. I'm doing like this kind of basic stuff because it's important just to, so we are all in the same page. So here we have some scripts. This one, the Scully ones are gonna be added later on. So I'm just gonna mock the commands because doing this live, it takes a long time because there are a lot of packages that's they're gonna be added. So in package.json, we have a bunch of scripts and libraries that the project depends on. And then in AngularJSON, if we run a command which is build, we're gonna get the production bundle inside here at this folder /Scully talk. So after I run a command I'm gonna show you now, we're gonna get some things inside this folder, okay? So I'm gonna just mock it, but you should type ng build and press enter. And that's gonna build, yeah, the application, but ready for production with a lot of optimizations and smaller size. So, yeah, I'm checking here. Then we're gonna get this stuff. So this is the final app ready for production, but it has the same problem. I'm gonna show you a little. We can serve this. We can serve this folder if we go to cd dist /Scully talk. And then we can use http server. That's a command we can use. So if we press Control and left click here, we should see the application. If we inspect view page source, the development and the build bundle, they're going to have the same problem because we haven't added Scully yet. You see, same problem as in development. So yeah, we need to solve this. So we're going to see the interesting stuff here, which is, let's kill the HTTP server. So now it gets interesting. Now it's time to add Scully to our project. So we build the project the usual way, like the Angular way. No worries about working with server, side code. Yeah, just like a normal Angular app. So now it's time to add Scully. So there's a command that comes with a CLI, which is ng add, and then add Scully IO /init. I think you can see because show hide. Yeah, perfect. So this is the command you need to write here in the terminal, and then press enter. After you do this, the changes that you're gonna see in the projects is gonna be this Scully folder here on top. And then if we go to package.json, so I told you we added some libraries. So these are the things that command added to our project. And yeah, this is all. No, we have a couple of more commands. So we need a way to interact with this new library. So here we have 2 new commands. So we can run npm run Scully and npm run Scully serve. So the first one is the one we need to run to generate a second build. So if we press here npm run Scully and press enter, that's gonna generate a second build. This one was the one we created when we pressed ng build, and this one is static. That's the new folder, and we're gonna see that it has many index.html files. That's maybe you're wondering why, but I'm gonna explain you. So this one, this index, this one has the content of the home component. If you remember, this index corresponds to the root of our project. So let's see if we can find the content of the home component. It's kind of, well, here we see the navbar. So this is common to all routes. But here we go. I'm the home component. So that's pre-render. I'm going to show you the difference. If you go to the normal build without Scully, we have the app root. So yeah, that's the problem we have. If I now go to the index at the slash, the root level, sorry, of the static folder, we see content, the home component. And the same happens, I think you're getting the hang of this. If you go to about, for example, we should see the about component content here. I'm gonna scroll. I'm the about component. There we, well, you saw it. I lost it. Anyway, you see here. Okay, so, and it gives us an follow for HTML as well. So in case a page is not found, I think we should have the same one here. No, it's not in the usual build. So now we have the content. Let's check it in the browser if we have this content we see. Then we need to, as you remember, if you forget the commands, you just go to package, JSON, and see what you have there. So we have Scully serve. So I run npm run Scully serve, and if I hit enter, we're gonna serve our this folder, no, not this one, but this static folder. That's the file we're gonna be serving, and this one as well. So now I'm gonna do some live coding. Yeah, my computer is a bit slow, but yeah, hopefully we'll be ready soon. It's starting a couple of servers. Okay, there we go. We have the Angular distribution server. This Angular distribution server serves the old application that we're not interested. This Scully talk, that folder, we don't want that. And the second server, the static build, which is this folder. So control, left click. Okay, it looks like the old application, but there's something hidden here. Let's do view page source and see what Googlebots see. Okay, so here we have the app root, but it's not empty anymore. It's got content, and you can see I'm the home component. So it has some content inside, and this is what helps bots to give us a good good ranking when they search our content. Okay, I can show you more routes. So this happens for every route. If you go to the about route, or to the same thing, we see the about component and all the content it has. And of course, like I say it again, the navbar was presenting all the components. Okay, so this is the core of Scully. So yeah, I hope you liked it, and yeah, maybe you have some questions now. Don't know. Have you maybe take some time to think about something that wasn't clear enough, or something you missed while I was talking?
I was thinking about one thing, so Scully is mostly used for CEO optimization, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
how you actually choose the content? Is it somehow optimized by Scully, or do you create the content for the CEO bots by hand?
Yeah, I mean, what Scully does is just pre-renders your app. It's like, instead of letting your browser do the job of running the scripts and getting the HTML content, you do it before you ship the app. So that's the important thing. But if you're talking about the content, I mean, there's like a lot of tricks to put a special content. But yeah, you should do it either if you have a SPA, like single page application, or if you have a JAMStack app, which is the one using Scully. So yeah, the important thing to understand is like what Scully does is like pre-render our application before we ship it to the server, and it does it in a Chrome environment. That's the main difference. I think it's the only tool in the world that does that for a framework, like for a front-end framework, because most tools, what they do is they use like an express. I don't know if you're into backend. I've heard that some of you are, but you can have an express server and listening to requests from users, and that server generates the HTML. It pre-renders it, but at runtime in the server upon request. So that takes time. It's like a WordPress site, for example. If you request a WordPress site, the PHP files are going to work in the backend server, but yeah, in the backend, and they're going to generate our HTML, but upon request. The difference between like normal server-side rendering and this technology is that what we ship to the server is just a bunch of static files that are ready to be shipped to the browser. Yeah, you don't need server-side code. That's the important thing. And I want to emphasize that this gives us the, it's much cheaper. You don't need to worry about managing a server. It's just like deploying like an HTML page. That's all. And that's super cheap and super fast as well, because you don't need to wait for a server to generate your page upon request. That's the main selling point.
I have a question. So in the example that you showcased, you didn't have to make any alterations on your code. So from what I understood, you just installed the Scully package, and you just used another command in order to generate the binaries, the distributables anyway. So is that the case? Is so just adding the package and no changes to your code whatsoever?
Yes, that's another main selling point. You just write normal Angular app and add the package. But yeah, this was simple demo app. But you have if you have like parameters in your routes, then you need to do a little bit more work and provide Scully, and yeah, give Scully the parameters. So Scully can't guess what parameters are you using. If you have, for example, post/post/1, 2, or /3, so you need to let Scully know which parameters you're going to use, all these numbers of each post. So that way Scully can, yeah, put that parameter, replace it, and generate content, like pre-render it. I know if you understand that. I can show you an example if you want. Like, I'm gonna show my screen.
Yeah, example sounds good.
Yeah. Yes. For example, if we have a page like my amazing app, and if we have posts, and if we have that, when I'm talking about parameters, I refer to this placeholder ID. So Scully needs to know which IDs you're going to use. So you need to provide Scully with an array of all the possibilities you have in your application, like 1, like 2, like 2, like 3. So what you do, you need to provide Scully. There's a Scully config file, I think. So here, I haven't done this yet, but I'm gonna do it in the future because I'm working for a restaurant web page. So here you need to add some parameters. I can't remember the syntax now, but I think you add like an array with all the parameters, like 1, 2, 3, or yeah. So that's the idea. So you need to do like more work. And I had a problem the first time I used it because I was using hash-based route. So, I mean, there's a way of use, like, yeah, there's a type of routing you can do where you can have a slash in front here and then everything else. So this way of working with routing doesn't work with Scully. So yeah, I stumbled on that mistake. So anyway, you can do it. That's why I didn't use hashes for routing. So yeah, there are some nuances, but yeah, that's why you need to read the docs and just go to Ask Community. I think, yeah, there's, yeah, I'm gonna share with you later on, there's a kind of group where you can ask even the creators answer questions. So yeah, I'm gonna share it with you later. So yeah, yeah, this one, it was a simple example, but yeah, you can see it's pretty simple if you have ever tried doing Angular Universal. Yeah, I think this is simpler for like entry-level people like me. So yeah, I don't know if you have experience with Angular Universal, but yeah, I found it difficult for me.
So you did mention JAMStack several times. Would you like to just give an example of what JAMStack really is? Because I think it's interesting, really interesting what JAMStack is about.
Yeah. So JAMStack has some. Yeah, I have some notes here, and yeah, it has some principles. The first one is to have pre-rendered content. That's the thing we saw today. Have pre-rendered content, and this is just static files. And you deploy them to a CDN. What is a CDN? It's a content delivery network. So our files are going to be located in multiple places, and if there are users in the States, we will probably have our files in a server in the States. It's going to be delivered to them quicker, because that's the advantage of having like a distributed system. So that's the first point of JAMStack. The second one is having your content in a CDN as well. So, and yeah, this is kind of tough to manage content, because you need to do it in a organized way. So there are tools to do it. It's called like having headless CMS. You're gonna hear this word a lot. If you read blog posts. And headless CMS is like, for example, having a WordPress, using the WordPress REST API. WordPress is an ecosystem, so it's super useful for storing content. And you can, all this content is exposed in a REST API. So you can do like HTTP calls, like WordPress /WP JSON and /posts, for example. So you can have your content in one place and just consume it from an API. And there are many tools. I think Firebase is working with that. Flame, well, I don't know. If you search for Firebase or CMS, so yeah, you're gonna hear that a lot of companies are providing CMSs, which are content management systems. So yeah, the second point of JAMStack is to consume content from a CDN. That's the second one. And the third one, well, they used to use Markdown, but yeah, I mean, they can still use it. But the original term JAMStack means JavaScript API and Markdown. So content used to be stored in Markdown files. That's why the name. But yeah, you don't need to use Markdown to have a JAMStack app. Maybe it was just the name of the first example. So yeah, so it's JavaScript. Use JavaScript in the front end to give life to your app. Then you have an API where your content is exposed. You can use a headless CMS like WordPress REST API, for example. And then Markdown, which is like, for us, is optional because it's a way of storing content in Markdown files. So yeah, this is JAMStack in like a few words. I don't know if you have more questions. I had to look at it on the internet. What is JAMStack? Because yeah, I've heard that term, but yeah, I did some research, and that's what I learned about it.
Yeah, I was just thinking, any more questions, or should we stop the recording?
Just want to ask about the matureness level of this library. I can see that it's on version 1. Can it be used in production? Will it work for large applications?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I've heard that big companies, I think in the aviation industry, they're going to use it like for documents. So maybe for internal use. It was in beta, it got out of beta like a few weeks ago. So it's kind of a new technology. But if you have like a simple project for a client or for yourself, it's been working fine for me. So yeah, I'm using it for a client now, for a project. So yeah, yeah, I'm confident. So it's been working well. But yeah, if you have like a super big project with a lot of budget and investors, yeah, that's I think that's your point. But I think so. If it's out of beta, yeah, maybe these guys work well. So I'm confident. Mm.